just started as part of our digitization project in NISSAN globally. So there's a time bomb of 10 minutes. So I just wanted to ask one question. Anyone can quickly give you an answer. Early morning you wake up and you saw your message in an SMS saying that your bank balance completely, which is around 10 crores, have been hacked and the money has gone out. What's the reaction? What will you do? Any one participant can answer quickly so that I can set the agenda what I'm trying to say. Early morning you woke up, you saw an SMS, somebody hacked it, and you got that the whole money has been taken out. Somebody saying what will you do? Okay, that's the one reaction that you are doing is. How will you deal with this situation, right? Your entire lifetime earnings are gone. What will you do? Meditate. Okay, that's right. So set the context now. Let me ask this different question right here now. If you are driving a car which is connected to our entire, the connected systems, autonomous car with your family, that gets hacked, and the entire acceleration system has gone, cruising system has gone out of your control. What will you do? Handbrake. Good answer. Okay. So here now there is a paradigm shift that is happening in the automotive industry. Now, so far we thought that banking, our life earnings and everything is critical to us. Now there is a complete change that is happening now is that our lives are, safety is at stake now. The way in which the entire, the mobility is moving, the entire paradigm shift is happening. The way that we used to protect our bank balances, bank accounts from the hackers, now we have to protect our lives when we are getting into these autonomous cars. Okay, that's the agenda I have set it for you. Okay, so this is what we call in our parlance is actually autonomous connected electric shared. Now the whole shift that's globally is happening is that your crude oil based entire mobility economy is shifting towards the electric ones because the batteries now is actually cutting across those earlier problems of less than 100 kilometers per charge to close to 800, 900, and there are technologies which is taking you to around 1500 as well. Now the whole the vehicle system itself becomes a mobile office for you, the way it's getting connected, right? Then the sharing part of the one which you are already known that Uberizations of the world and then Olas of the world, right? Then if you look at it, the entire ecosystem, how it is getting developed is not only the driver assisted systems, what you are seeing it is moving towards the complete automation, right? Complete autonomous. It's no more a fiction or a Bollywood picture, now it is happening. Now, how is that, a glimpse of it is actually happening is that, the evaluation of this autonomous system, which is having the classifications like this. Currently, if you look at it, we are, most of us are actually at 1 or 2 or 3 levels now, and then we are cruising towards the end goal of it actually. So the end goal could be, looks a little bit scary, but it is going to go and have it, right? Because no more you are going to run it on the road is actually when you reach the level of the 5th, it's going to go on the air also at times. That's how it is going to go. So what this entire ecosystem is going to deliver for you? Improved safety, reduced congestions, fuel savings, which is phenomenal now, which is happening now. Imagine that you can from a Bangalore to Hyderabad on a single battery charge you can drive down, right? I had a chance to chat with one of the Chinese company which is having Hyderabad airport electric stuff. It's having less than 25 paisa per kilometer is what costing to them on an electric battery powered vehicles. So that is where it is going, and that actually propels new business revenues, new the areas, new markets are going to get opened up. If you look at the Morgan Stanley figures which I have picked up here is around 2.6 trillion by 2030 is what is going to be the mobility market, which looks like. So there is a huge amount of avenues which are coming up in this space. What are the issues? These are the glorification that I have done, where we are doing the shift. Now, any new technology, any new adoption, any new civilization ways of emerging will have its own threat factors coming in with that. So let's have the look at it. Is actually this is the phenomenal story. McKinsey says a connected vehicle, an autonomous vehicle, will generate 7 times more code than a Boeing 787 when it is doing the journeys actually. That's the reason if you look at it nowadays, there are trials which are happening where storage bays are also here. We have a lot of data that 24 hours if our car runs, it comes back to our dealer, then we pick up all the data and then we start analyzing it, how better we can make it. That's what the R&D that we do. From a threats and impacts perspective, if you look at it, remote control safety. You are driving already, this is no more a fiction, is actually one of our competitive OEM, he had launched it without any cyber security out there, and then the car has been overtaken and then the entire family went and hit the somewhere in US, I won't name that company, and hit the entire family to a tree at a speed of 200 plus kilometers and the whole family gone. So if you look at it, disruption and your privacy, what you are doing inside of your, because a lot of autonomous vehicles will have a lot of sensors, cameras into it, and then streaming will happen. And you might end up that a lot of legal issues, a lot of privacy issues will come, confidentiality issues, because the entire family and you will be traveling within the car. So if you look at methods wise, totally today what we are trying to do is that from a technology perspective, millions and millions of cars are there globally. When you have this kind of connected system, there is a kind of firmware which is going to go inside of these cars. And then what the hackers are going to do is actually, you cannot call all these millions of millions cars into a specific place where you can do an upgrade like Windows 10 system or Windows or any operating system. You will have to do it over the air actually. That's the one factor where you are moving a car is actually a firmware upgradation over the air is what we call. That's the threat that you can see out there also. And threat of encryption keys. At times what we do is actually the kind of connectivity between our global monitoring hubs. For example, you have taken the services from NISSAN for monitoring wherever you are going, navigation and all that stuff. There would be an encryption that happens between both of us. Right, in our global control hub on the vehicle which is moving in somewhere in Vietnam or Thailand, whichever is the place. So again, when you need us in the safety, as you are driving the car, you need us for safety purposes. At that time, if a DDoS attack happens between both of us, then we lost you. So that would be another threat vector. Now, what is the solution? How do we take care of lives? We cannot be away from this entire technology saying that there are issues, we cannot do it kind of thing, right? We will have to embrace this technology, there is no way about it. There is no doubt about it. But what we need to do is, we need to ensure that certain basics are taken care of. Currently, if you look at it, all the solutions which are maturing are actually a bolt-on solutions which are happening in the connected car market, like certain companies bringing in some kind of boards and all that stuff, and actually happening on it. But next level of integration, what is going to happen is that all your Indian control units are going to be directly integrated with our global monitoring systems. Once you do that, you will be in a situation to control the whole story. Otherwise, you see today your central lock systems and all of them are being able to manipulate it like anything, right? It's because the bolt-on is what we are doing it at this point in time. So the curve is going to go up. What we are actually at this point in time need to look at it is, by the last slide, is going to be like protecting your ECU, that Indian control unit. What we call is a control area network within the entire vehicle is actually, which connects the entire systems between brakes, the transmission, and your safety, inside data. All the systems are being controlled by these ECUs within the vehicle actually. And the second most important is when you are moving is actually between your mobile network and between our global monitoring hubs and your car is the three-way communication that happens that needs to be protected. And then the applications which are going to, myriad applications which are going to come up on our mobiles, using which you can connect with these car applications are going to be another area where we need to be extremely considerative. I think these are the areas where we are at the moment, working, and we have a very big hub, in Trivandrum in the Technopark Phase 3. Which is going to emerge to take the millions and millions cars which are going to come up in order to monitor them. Some of them is going to be free and some of them is going to be charged. So I leave 1 minute for any questions that you have. This is what my last slide. I have some more, but time is going to be this much. Anyone has any one question I can answer?
I have a question.
Yes.
So if you travel in Bangalore and saw the Bangalore traffic today, how do you think autonomous car is going to work in this kind of situation?
So while flow was happening, I said when you reach to the fifth level of automation is actually, what we are trying to attempt is actually, when congestion is like this, there is a hydraulic system which is coming up, it will automatically lift your car onto up. So that is going to be like a tall man having some single small wheel. So the car will be up. Within that narrow line you go ahead, that will not be more than 500 meters actually. You just do that and then come down and then have your this thing and then move on. That's how the future mobility is what we are looking at this point in time. So that's the answer for conditions.
Shaikh, I've got a question. See, there's a lot of privacy related activities that will that the autonomous cars are going to capture, which are privacy with respect to people sitting inside the car, my own data, my own video, my own conversations. How do you protect that, and how does a consumer protect that information so that it doesn't, because see, tomorrow you would be accessing all the data. So what's the kind of conditions that you would like to put up in terms of keeping the privacy? Because today when you look at the banking system which you talked about, it's a private data, but banks are aware of it. So you sign a confidential document again with the bank and all that. You accept terms and conditions. So it would be, I would find it similar that accepting the terms and conditions, because nobody reads the terms and conditions. But how do you, having said that, but how do you protect that privacy data of human beings?
Right. Given the kind of time and respecting other speakers to come and talk about it, I'll just tell you one thing. Here it is. Privacy and encryptions are both synonymous to each other. If you are able to manage encryption with yourselves, no matter whether it is autonomous vehicle or banking data, legal data, whatever it is, you are in control. And absolute privacy is not at all guaranteed in today's digital world. I'm telling you. This is the fact. With 20 years of experience, I'm telling you. Because if an autonomous, if you do the encryption with your keys, if you give me a safety aspect of mine, if I cannot encrypt it and decrypt it and see, how can I help you when you require me, my services, right? So the absolute privacy is not at all possible. There are areas where you have to trust us, that has to be, and but you cannot 100% give the whole thing to us so that your entire life gets ruined. I have cases which I can one-on-one speak to you. Thank you so much.